There was a Flash game I played when I was much younger. It had stop signs shooting laser beams at you, and this haunting melody that drilled into your head. I never finished it, I didn't even finish half an hour of it, but it left a dramatic impression on me. I couldn't remember the name, but I remembered it was an RPG. So, I searched for it on all the old Flash sites like Miniclip, A-Game, Newgrounds, and Congruent. It felt like the game was more of a dream I had instead of an actual game, and there were so many games I had to look through. None of them were the game I remember, until I finally found it. That game was called the Color Tuesday RPG. Released in 2009 by a user named Grawsie, or Wild Twilight, this game is a tactical story-driven RPG in a modern setting. Let's just start the game and see what happens, right? The game begins and the city is under attack by UFOs. Super Kyle fights this evil robot, and we're in combat. This robot gives us a passive-aggressive tutorial on how to punch and we smack his face in. But it's okay, we're just children playing a game. The two kids are the rebellious Alex and the thoughtful Kyle, and I didn't realize Alex was a girl until much later. The first thing you'll notice from the game is the art style. It's very DeviantArt looking, for lack of a better term. I didn't really like it at first, but I'll admit it grew on me. It's charming. The second thing you'll notice is, wait a minute, modern setting, children with baseball bats and magic? That's not a game, that's a quirky Earthbound inspired RPG. This game was released in 2009, so it was still kind of a novel idea at the time. Kyle's mum calls it Kyle back home, and we're left with Alex, who needs to get back home before curfew. In fact, everyone we talk to seems to be absolutely obsessed with curfew. Sure do love curfew, curfew's great, I love curfew. The town is absolutely infested with cops obsessed with following curfew. So naturally, Alex and Kyle, being rebellious kids, go to break curfew. Alex and Kyle hear a beautiful melody coming from a forest, so they go out to investigate it. They battle some horrifying plant monsters and find a lady in the forest singing, called Anna. She says that they're the only ones who can save the world from evil aliens called the Others, who have taken over the world. They hide in plain sight, disguised as adults and other things like... I'm not gonna spoil that yet. They also mind control the adults to make them worse. The only ones who can stop the Others are children with powerful imaginations and rebellious spirits like Alex and Kyle. They can see through the Others' disguises. Oh hey, a cop. Surely they'll save us from this strange lady. Oh my god! Anyway, after all that, the adventure to save the world begins. Mostly we just kind of wander around aimlessly until something happens, but mainly we're just trying to find medicine for Kyle's sister who's sick, and there's no medicine in town, so we need to go find some. Hey, why's this stop sign glowing? This was my main memory of the game, getting absolutely decimated by this giant floating stop sign. It's so ridiculous, it wraps around to being amazing. This stop sign talks shit at you and then kills you for absolutely no reason. And it's just totally random. As soon as you leave the forest, you can talk to this stop sign and die. The stop sign is invincible until you visit the school, except if you use ignite on the stop sign, which kills it and soft locks your progress, so don't do that. As I was playing through this game, I was struck by a horrible, awful feeling. I was starting to have fun. The battles are enjoyable, there's actual strategy and resource management. The attacking feels good, the attack minigame feels good, the sound effects feels good. The battles do kind of slow down towards the end of the game quite a lot, but battles kind of become stallfest, but I like them. I really like the characters as well. I like Alex the most. She doesn't take crap from anyone, and talks back to her parents. But she does get scared and has emotions just like a kid should. It's good that the battles are good because there are a lot of them. So many. There's battling, and more battling. And you will constantly be hearing the battle start sound effect. Yeah, I don't even mind, it's great. If any of this appeals to you, stop watching this right now and go play it, it's free. I personally recommend it, and I think the writing gets exceptionally good towards the end. You can play it online, but it's likely your files won't be saved, and it's a pretty long game, about 7 hours. So I personally recommend Flashpoint. It makes downloading and playing the game easy, and it even saves your files. Just check it is actually saving at the beginning before you lose a bunch of progress like I did when I used the Newgrounds player. So, anyway, we meet this teacher, Mr. Pierce, and he's a massive... nonce. He's a nonce. So, of course, we go to his house alone, and there's a bunch of dolls. Cool. Then we get sucked off to an alternate dimension with horrible monsters in it. Yeah. After fighting about 1,000,000,000 encounters, we find a doll who shoots lightning at us, okay? And the doll turns into a new character called Bella. You know when I said the best character was Alex? Yeah, I kinda lied, Bella is the best character. She's this maid doll girl kind of thing, and she just shit talks everybody, mostly Alex. And it's great. She uses umbrella in combat. Just look at that stance. She's so cocky, it's great. My name is Alex, and Kyle and I are on an adventure, so if you don't mind... An adventure? Huh, how unladylike. Anyway, it's time to deal with Mr. Pierce, the massive nonce that he is. He tells all the girls to stay on this little pocket dimension to get turned into dolls forever. Yeah, no thanks. Good riddance. Talk about burning some fat. Now it's time to leave the town that we started in, the start of town. We go through a desert in order to find the medicine for Kyle's sister, and along the way we find a random kid named Chad dying of heat exposure. He invites himself into the party. Well, okay, that's not suspicious at all. After wandering through the desert and finding an unsettling amount of meat jerky in boxes, we break a vending machine and get abducted by the others. There's a flashback scene that I'm just gonna let this one play out because I don't really think my words can do it justice. So, Alex has synesthesia, which means she perceives things like numbers with colors. Honestly, I never knew practically anything about synesthesia, and I just kind of thought it was a load of crap. But having Alex seeing it as a gift and something that no one else has, I think it's really beautiful. Anyway, after we get abducted, it seems we're in another town, but there's constant earthquakes. Turns out that shaking is from the local store Ralmart, which is constantly growing and expanding like a freaking tumor. Once we're inside, we get assaulted by some clothing monsters and crazy store employees. Can we just stop for a second and appreciate the cool monster designs? A lot of them are like surprisingly creative, and most of them are just pretty horrifying looking. I had nightmares as a kid of the plant monsters at the start of the game. Just look at those eyes, man. Fucking gives you nightmares. This is the first enemy of the game. So, we find the medicine for Kyle's sister in the store, but now we're locked inside. We had a helping hand from Chad's sister, Paige. She's kinda suspicious by proxy to Chad, but she invites herself into the party anyway. Something's running the blood, I guess. But it doesn't matter, because she's cool. Why does everyone keep ignoring me? Maybe because you ask stupid questions. She's got a banana knife, and she's definitely much stronger than anyone else in the party. Then we go to the inner workings and guts of Ralmart, filled with snaking pipes and organic-looking machinery. Also, the music for this section is perfect. We escaped the store, and now we're on our way back to Carl's house to deliver the medicine. But there's this magical forgetful fire in the way to Carl's house. Carl's willing to give up his magic powers and memories to get the medicine to his sister. Alex protests and tries to persuade Kyle not to do it, but there's no way. He's made up his mind now. He's about to go, but then Alex remembers that her brother left her something helpful when he left to go fight the others. By the way, Alex has a brother and he left to go fight the others. So she says that they should look for this helpful thing instead. I really like this scene. It shows how much Kyle cares about his sister. We go to find this helpful thing, but it's behind this puzzle Alex's brother has made. This is a puzzle only Alex can solve using her synesthesia, which is just amazing. The helpful thing turns out to be a guitar. With this, we can use it to fight against the others with the power of music. Paige betrays us and tries to steal the guitar, although Chad sticks with us. Don't be stupid, I don't care about saving the world or anything but myself. I don't need anyone, I'll destroy you all. After we defeat Paige, she escapes, saying she doesn't need anybody else. No, come back, you are cool. We get the medicine to Carl's sister, and there's one final obstacle to go overcome. Officer Maxwell. You know, that evil cop from the beginning of the game? Final boss time. I kinda just had Kyle spam Hydro Smash while the rest of the party was in the back, healing for 20 minutes. The endgame battles are a lot of this, battles of attrition and stall strats. And I fucking lost. Shit. Round 2. Do all of that again for 20 minutes, and then Alex composes a song for Maxwell using her synesthesia, letting the colors of the music guide her. And we use the power of music from the guitar to defeat Maxwell, who really just wanted the best for us despite being a slave to the others. He just didn't want kids to die. He has a funny way of showing it. The game ends with the characters continuing to go on adventures to stop the others, and Kyle's sister hears the call to go fight the others as well. The game ends on an open note, hinting on a sequel, but I feel like there's enough finality to be satisfied. That's the synopsis. I kinda skipped over a bunch of stuff for the sake of brevity, but you get the point. So here are just some of my random thoughts about the game. I feel like the game has a lot of heart in the characters and the setting, and the writing. It's really nice and heartwarming, especially towards the end. The combat is surprisingly fun as well. It takes a lot of different inspiration, like Mega Man Battle Network, obviously Earthbound, and this Sailor Moon Another Episode game. You can definitely see the inspiration taken from the battle UI. I haven't played the game, but it sure looks cool. There's some bad things about the game though. There are bugs, game-breaking ones, like getting stuck in walls, the stop sign softlock, and other bugs like spazzing out between doors. I think the door one's pretty funny though. There are also so many random encounters it gets kinda tiresome towards the end, and so many typos. Some sentences trail off the side of the dialogue box and you can't read the end of the sentences. The credits said there were 4 people proofreading the game, which was clearly not enough people. Even though it's like 4 people, it's like 4 too many. But in the end, none of that really matters to me overall, to be honest. Overall, yeah, it's kinda amateurish, but I love it. I love this game. It's easy to write it off as a crappy Flash Newgrounds game, a dime a dozen, but I think it has something that makes it special. Some of the art looks actually pretty good. I love the battle sprites and like everyone's ready and prepared. Most people I've seen like the art as well. I really love the characters personality wise. Everyone is like so different and brings something new to the table. It makes all their interactions like really fun to watch. It's also pretty cool how different they are diversity wise, makes them stand out more. It's just nice to see like the girls outnumber the guys for once in a game. Anyway, the tone of the game is like kinda naive and childlike, but I think that adds to the atmosphere. I think the game acts as kind of the antithesis to the thesis of like recent AI chatbots. It's got all this soul and messiness and ugliness and beauty, when the AI really has none at all. But that just kind of seems like the direction we're headed in with the internet and like real life and stuff. Just a lack of soul in general. I like how the creator lists synesthesia as a medical disorder in the credits. And I just kind of had this whole epiphany as like it doesn't have to be a disorder. It can be a condition. It's just like a different way of perceiving things. But you know, it's just an easier way to put it, I guess. Whatever. The story, especially towards the end, is really beautiful. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, it's just, I don't know. I really like the story, yeah, jeez. The game is actually pretty long for a Flash game, about 7 hours. When you realize this is a free 7-hour game made by one person, although slightly padded by the random encounters, it's very impressive for literally one person. Like, 2 other people for the music. Since it's so long, if you want to play it, you'll probably want a Flash player that saves your files as local files. Like I said, I use Flashpoint, which I personally recommend. Newgrounds player didn't really save my files, unfortunately. It's just easier to... Yeah, it's just... Flashpoint's super easy, you download it and it's there. It's easy. We're left with a game filled with passion and heart and optimism that feels like a snapshot of a bygone era kinda one. I'm very glad I revisited it and gave it a proper playthrough. It feels nice having closure. Too bad this video won't have any closure.